We welcome you to another live edition of the Sports Box, brought to you by our sponsor, Showcase Sports in Hamilton. Showcase Sports for the elite athlete. And by our friends over at CrowdPlay. Download the free CrowdPlay app today and check them out at www.crowdplayapp.com for details. Ladies and gentlemen, it's showtime.
Hey everybody, welcome to Cage My IQ. I'm your host D-Bake. Joining with me as always is Jim DeLulo. How's it going, Jim?
Doing good, man. I'm ready to talk some fights. I missed it. We didn't get a fight last week, so I'm looking forward to this, man. It's a big card tonight, or this weekend, sorry.
Exactly. So how was your Memorial Day weekend? Usually we have a fight card that weekend, but this is the first year that we didn't.
I didn't know what to do. Honestly, it was a washout here in New Jersey, so it rained a lot. Luckily, we had NBA playoffs, which was great. We had Manchester City versus Arsenal or versus Chelsea, which was a great game. So we had sports to hold us down, but I did miss my UFC fix.
Yeah, I was able to at least watch the regional scene, which I watched CFFC both nights, which was great because it was right here in the Philadelphia area.
Yeah.
But there's nothing like the UFC. So we're going to talk about UFC Fight Night. Rozenstruik versus Sakai right here this weekend. But before we do so, I want to let you guys know about a couple of our sponsors that we have on here. The first one is 99 Jersey. Use promo code SportsBox show 20 at checkout to receive 20% off your next purchase. If there's a jersey you like in football, baseball, basketball, 99 Jersey is the place to go. Just don't forget to use promo code SportsBoxShow20 at checkout to receive 20% off your next purchase. And then one of our new sponsors right now is Oddsjam. We're partnered with Oddsjam. It's the best place to find ways to make risk-free money bets on sports. They got the Arbitrator Calculator that you can use. And then once you go to Oddsjam, you never want to go anywhere else. You feel like you've never lost a bet. Once you go there, you can look at all the different odds of the different sites, pick the best one, and go with there. So definitely go to Oddsjam. You can go to the link in our bio to check them out on the website. So definitely do so right after you're done watching this. And then our newest sponsor is High Tide Herbal. Use promo code CageMyIQ10 at checkout to receive 10% off your next purchase. These guys, the owners here, are coaches, and right now they're also athletes, so they know what to go through with the aches, pains, and injuries. All the products have CBD in it, so definitely check out all the products at High Tide Herbal. And like I said, use CageMyIQ10 as the promo code to receive 10% off your next purchase.
Yeah, man, that's products with athletes in mind. High Tide Herbal.
Exactly. So that's the way to go. I use their soap, and the soap is great. So I recommend that when you're going to their website.
Yeah, I'm a CBD guy, so I'm going to be heading my way over there.
Yep. But let's get started on the first fight of this card. This card has 6 fights, which I think is really good because each fight in itself is great matchups. And so this was quietly built into an underrated card in my mind. But the first fight is a middleweight matchup between Duško Todorović, who is 10-1 and is the -165 favorite, going up against Gregory Rodrigues, who is 9-3 and is the +140 underdog. How do you feel about this fight?
This is a good fight. This is a good card in general, like you said, to kind of echo what you had said. This is a card that's showcasing talent that you may not have heard of, but you've probably seen. These are all exciting fighters. I'm surprised with this fight in particular that the odds aren't crazier. Rodrigues took this fight on 1 week's notice. You know, he recently fought the 21st, I believe, or maybe the week after 28th, and for LFA, and now he's just jumping in here fighting the UFC. So with this one, this is actually a fight that I'm going to go to Oddsjams and put some money down on, Dan. I'm excited about this one. I think that this is going to be a closer fight than a lot of people are saying. Maybe the odds makers know a little bit more, but with Duško, I think that his keys to win is moving forward and getting Rodrigues to the cage to get the takedown, because you have a grappler in Todorović and a striker in Rodrigues. Duško is probably going to want to use some clench work, mix in the body shots. We know that Rodrigues has prepared for a 5-round war a week ago, so he's coming in fresh. It's not like a crazy weight cut. You want to mix in kicks to disguise those takedowns, because if you're going up against a wrestler like we've seen with Askren, which we've seen with Curtis Blades, the blueprint's there. So Rodrigues or Duško should probably mix in the kicks, and then make time on the ground count with ground and pound. That's his bread and butter. He goes down there and he just kind of like blankets you and just starts smashing your face in. Where Rodrigues, I think that he needs to be the aggressor and ride high on his last win. He's coming in here with an LFA title defense. He's got the 2-inch reach advantage, so he should use that to keep Duško at distance. And then he needs to work the body to drop Duško's hands to open up for headshots. Because even though he's got 4 submissions, Rodrigues is a banger, and he has 4 knockouts, and he's looking to KO Todorović. I told you I was going to put my money down on someone. I'm putting money down actually on Rodrigues, because I think he has the best chance of winning this, as far as the underdogs on his card. But I'm actually going to go with Duško by ground and pound. So
Interesting.
I'm putting money on the underdog, but I'm going to go with the favorite in this pick.
Yeah, before we get into mine, if you look right here at the screen, you got Duško, who is from Serbia. He's 27 years old, weighs 186 pounds. He's 6'1", with a 74-inch reach, and he fights out of Seculator MMA gym. Then you got Gregory Rodrigues, who fights out of Brazil. Deerfield Beach, Florida is where he's fighting out of. He's 29 years old, 184 pounds. He's 6'3", with a 76-inch reach, and he fights out X Gym. You got Duško. He has elite takedown defense. He defends 100% of his takedowns, so he's one of the best at doing that. And he has good striking. He always game plans to be elusive in his fights and likes to keep things moving. And then he moves his head at all times to avoid shots. That's a good tendency to have. You don't want to be fighting and have your head just keep staying straight, because then you take a lot of damage. So he always moving his head to avoid damage. One of his bad tendencies is to keep his hands low and move his chin back instead of moving off target. So if you want to catch Duško, you just got to wait for him to drop his hands low, wait for the right time, you hit him. More than likely, you're going to catch him. He's not good defending against the fence in the clinch, and he's good for knees and kicks. His chin has been a suspect thing in his career. So with him dropping his hands and then taking shots, if like I said, if you catch him, more than likely you're going to knock him down. Then you got a guy like Gregory Rodrigues. He has a Muay Thai background. He's always moving forward, keeps his head in one place, and constantly comes with power. He relies on his straight right. Then when Duško gets in range, he's going to use it. When he grapples, he looks to hit his opponent with knees to the body and punches, as well as go for takedowns and sweeps. He tends to attack submissions too much, but likes to use his weight against the opponent. His pace starts to wear down as the fight goes on, but I feel in this matchup, like I was leaning towards Duško, but then I've heard so many stories about his neck being so long and him being superb to submissions.
Yeah,
it's easy to lock in submissions on him. I thought about that. Then I thought Gregory Rodrigues, I don't think he's going to do that. But what I do see is I see with him dropping his hands low, I can see, if you want to go on Oddsjam right now, Gregory Rodrigues first round TKO. I can see him dropping his hands down low and then get him popped by Rodrigues. Rodrigues usually comes out with a flurry in the first round, and he has power. So if he catches Todorović in the first round, he's going to put him to sleep.
Yeah, and this is Rodrigues' I think second go around at the UFC. I think he was on a Contender Series guy, just didn't really fit the bill for what they were looking for. I'm curious to see how this plays out on the ground. I know, Duško is a really good ground grappler, but Rodrigues is a BJJ black belt too. So you got two really well-versed grapplers going up against each other. This is my sleeper fight, actually. I think this is going to be a banger.
Yeah, like if you want to get more money, you can shoot for the Gregory Rodrigues by submission. Like I said, with Duško have the long neck. A lot of people are going to ride on Duško in this matchup.
Yeah, 10-1.
I just like Rodrigues because of his style matched up against Duško, and then the fact that he just fought a few weeks ago. So he's going to be the more, I wouldn't say fresh fighter, but he's still got that drive within him. Whereas it's been a while since Duško has fought. So
yeah, and Rodrigues is coming off a win, and Duško is coming off of a loss. And that long neck, man, that's great for rear naked chokes or guillotines. So I'm curious to see where they go.
Yep, so am I. But let's move on to the second fight on the card, which is the middleweight matchup between Breese, who is 12-3 and is the minus 240 favorite, going up against Antonio Arroyo, who is 9-4 and is the plus 200 underdog. How do you feel with this matchup?
This is another exciting fight. I think the theme of the main card is a lot of people coming off of a loss. Breese is coming off of a loss to Amari Akhmedov, and Antonio Arroyo is coming off a loss against Darren Wynn. So they're both 2-3 in their last 5. These guys are both prone to knockouts, each having 4. Tom is more ground control, has 7 submission wins to Arroyo's 4. Both went to the judges once. So I don't expect this one to go to the judges. You have a boxer in Breese and a striker versus Arroyo, and a BJJ black belt with Breese, like I said. So let's look at Breese first. His key is the win. I think use the jab to keep Arroyo moving backwards. That's Breeze's go-to, and he's got a really clean jab. He's very good at keeping distance and, lulling his opponent into getting hit with that jab. But he can't just rely on the jab like in previous fights. He needs to use more combinations. He doesn't throw as much as any of I think he throws close to the bottom as far as everyone on this card. And then mix in takedowns. You're expecting a striking match with a boxer and Breese. So if he can get Arroyo on the ground, you're going to be able to kind of wear him down, blanket him again, and shoot for those submissions. Whereas Arroyo, I think he needs to use combinations as well to drop Breeze's hands. He's a knockout artist as well. Use those combos to disguise that really tricky spinning heel kick that he has. That's his go-to. That's his favorite striking move. And then he needs to stuff the takedowns. With this fight, I'm actually going to go with Breese, England's own. Winner, I'm going TKO. Second round TKO.
Nice. As you see here, we got Breese. He's fighting out of the United Kingdom, Birmingham, England. He's 29 years old, 186 pounds, 6'3", with a 73.5 reach on him, and he fights out of Ultimate Training Center. Then you got Antonio Arroyo, who is from Brazil, and he's fighting out Soré Para, Brazil. He's 31 years old. He weighs 194 pounds, 6'3", with a 73.5 reach, and then he fights out Morajo Brothers Team Gym. With this matchup in itself, you got Breese. He's a southpaw, and he likes to move in and out of his opponent's range to throw and avoid shots. So you know that he's want to keep the pace going. His footwork is immaculate. He's known for his footwork. He likes to use his jab and uppercut. One of his favorite things that he likes to do, which a lot of people don't know, is the body kick. He likes to use the body kick to attack the orthodox fighters, to keep them off pace. The one mistake that he makes is in grappling. He tries to do too much on the ground. He doesn't stick to his basics. And when he does too much, he usually gets submitted because he puts himself in bad situations. And then he needs to use his left hand when Arroyo extends his hand. If he can do that, he could get that knockout, like you say, that you think he's going to get. On the other hand, you've got Arroyo. He has a karate stance and background, and then he tends to telegraph his striking too much, which is, like I said before, he extends his hand too often. His cardio has been a work in progress, and then he's not good at the takedown defense. His leg kicks and quick striking will be his best friend in this fight, and he should use takedowns to keep Breese honest. So even though he's bad at the takedown defense, he's really good at getting takedowns.
Yeah.
And the one thing in this matchup that is going to get me with both fighters is the cardio, and then the grappling.
Yeah.
I think Arroyo's going to start wearing out. But if he could get the fight to the ground early, I think it's going to favor him, even though that he has bad cardio issues.
Yeah.
But if Breese can get this standing up, keep it standing up, and then just start throwing that jab, get the movement, go in and out, I feel like this should be him all day. I don't think he's going to win by knockout, but I could see him winning by a unanimous decision. I feel like he's going to put in the volume. The jab's going to get going. He's going to go in, go out. He's going to use the kick to keep Arroyo from shooting at him, to get him down. And he's going to be able to do that and then wear him out at the same time. So I got Tom Breese by unanimous decision.
Yeah, I mean, we're on the same page with the winner, right? One thing to note about this fight, when you were going over the weights, I know Arroyo came in 10 pounds over on his last fight, but that was a catch weight. So it's not that he's moving down a division. He just, I think it was a short notice fight. He wasn't able to drop down to 185. So, yeah, that's where we're at. Yeah.
But like I said, you got him by KO. I got him by unanimous decision, which either, like I said, go to Oddsjam, check out the odds, and pick which one you like better. Because either one's good with us.
Yeah, there a lot of these fights, when you're looking at the card, there's not like a huge favorite.
No.
Like it's a lot of like virtually even, which is great. It's a fun night of fights.
Yep.
Makes our job difficult.
Yeah, definitely. But let's move on to the third fight in the card, which is a middleweight matchup between Roman Dolidze, who is 8-1 and is the minus 150 favorite, going up against Laureano Staropoli, who is 9-3 and is the plus 125 underdog. How do you feel about this matchup?
This one's going to be exciting too. Again, both guys coming off a loss. Roman lost to Trevin Giles, unanimous decision, and Laureano lost to Tim Means by unanimous decision. Grappler versus striker. Roman's a grappler, traditional grappler. Laureano is a striker. If we have Roman, I think that he needs to secure the takedowns. He needs to use what he's good at. He's got this smothering ability to get people on the ground and keep them on the ground. He can't plant his feet and turn this into a slugfest. Laureano throws a high volume, but he takes a lot too, but not as much as Roman throws. Roman should look for the submission. He's got a tricky heel hook that he's used before. I'm a big fan of that, and he needs to use that 5-inch reach advantage. He's 76-inch reach advantage to 71 reach advantage. With Laureano, I think he needs to stuff the takedowns. Roman is great on the ground. So he needs to push the pace and throw a lot like he's known to. I think he throws like 6.4 per fight. But he headhunts, and that's the problem. He can't just headhunt. Laureano throws a lot of jabs. I'm sure you're probably going to talk about that when you do your breakdown. And he tends to neglect the body and legs. He needs to become more of a versatile, even fighter, distribute the punishment throughout the body, and then use the leg kicks to prevent the takedowns. If you don't have wheels, you can't get those takedowns. Roman shoots 2.5 times per fight. So I expect this one to go to the ground at some point, if not like right out the gate. Like this is an early ground fight for me. With that being said, I'm going with the ground guy. I'm going with the grappler, Roman Dolidze out with winner by submission, second round submission.
That's a good one in itself, just because of the skills that he has.
Yeah.
But first, I'm going to bring up the tail of the tape, of course. You got Dolidze, who is fighting out Georgia. His nationality is Georgia. He's fighting out Ukraine. He's 32 years old. He's 185 pounds, 6'2", with a 76-inch reach, and then no affiliate whatsoever right now.
Just training in the woods.
Training in the woods.
Yeah, Ukraine woods.
Then you got Staropoli, who is from Argentina. He fights out of La Plata, Buenos Aires, Argentina. He's 28 years old, 174 and a half pounds, 6'1" with a 71 and a half reach on him. And then he fights out of Invictus MMA. Just like you said, classic wrestler versus striker. With Staropoli, though, is he goes with volume and speed.
Yeah.
But he doesn't have that much to it. Like, he's not going to knock you out. He's not going to put you on your ass. But he's going to rack up the volume. So his game plan obviously is going to go with the jab, hit him, keep moving around, just keep the pace going. Whereas Dolidze is going to look to try and get the fight to the ground on this one, because that's going to be his best friend there. Dolidze, he has issues with the head movement and then his striking, so that's why he's going to try and go for the grappling. That's where Staropoli can get this one. Probably get this fight is with Dolidze's head movement. He just keeps his head right there, so he's going to be in line to get hit a lot. Yeah. It's just not going to take great power damage from him, because it's not going to put too much. And then Staropoli likes to switch his stances a lot, so that's going to help him confuse Dolidze. And then he favors his kicks a lot. The one thing, though, he needs to work on is he doesn't block his hands when he's kicking. So he's always kicking with his hands down. So Dolidze, if he can avoid a kick and shoot for a takedown, that's going to put him in good position.
Yeah, catch the kick, and sweep the leg.
Yeah, and then get him down, and then just go with the ground and pound and try and wear him out. If he can't get a takedown, it's going to be tough for Dolidze to win, because he's not going to be able to out-volume Staropoli. If this fight is standing up the whole time, it's going to be hard-pressed and not to go to Oddsjam and put all my money on Staropoli, because he's going to clear house with the volume.
Yeah. Did we mention that this episode is sponsored by Oddsjam?
Yeah. But if Dolidze could get him down, he's going to be in good shape, because he's going to prevent him from doing any damage, because all he does is volume. I feel he can take him down, and I feel like he's going to do it several times. And I feel like the judges are going to take in a lot from that, because Staropoli's still going to get the volume, but it's going to be hard-pressed to go against the guy that's going to probably control the pace of the fight in Dolidze. So I got Dolidze by unanimous decision.
Nice. It's going to be a good one. Like you said, Staropoli, Jesus, I am pronouncing every name wrong. I'm sorry, guys. He drops the hands on those kicks. And, if, like you said, if he can slip that kick, Roman's got some hands, so he could throw some fists in there and, get the takedown or get the knockdown, and then, do work.
Yep. But let's move on to the fourth fight on the card, which is probably one of my favorite fights on this card altogether. It's a welterweight matchup between Santiago Ponzinibbio, who is 28-4 and is the plus 110 underdog, going up against Miguel Baeza, who is 10-0 and is the minus 120 favorite. How do you feel about this fight?
Conflicted, man. I feel super conflicted with this. Do you remember a few years ago when Ponzinibbio was like the guy? He was on the rise in the division. Then he got hurt. Then COVID happened. And now, again, he's coming off a loss, right? To a knockout loss by Lee. Baeza, who might have one of my favorite nicknames in all of MMA, Carmel Thunder, is riding a 10-fight win streak. He's beat Matt Brown, Takahashi Sato, Hector Aldana, Victor Reina, Matthew Colquhoun. He is on a tear. But then you look at, again, Santiago, who has fought the higher caliber fighters, right? Neil Magny. He beat Neil Magny. He beat Mike Perry, Gunnar Nelson, Nordine Talib. He's beat all those guys. I'm conflicted, like I said, but these are my keys for these guys. I think that Santiago needs to set the pace. Baeza is going to push the pace and likes the fight, where Santiago likes to let the fight develop. He can't do that with this guy. Miguel's going to come through with hands of fury and try to knock out the biggest name of his career right now, which is Ponzinibbio. He needs to win in the clinch, use the elbows when exiting. We've seen this in his fights with Mike Perry and with Gunnar Nelson. Use those elbows, use the dirty boxing, shoot for takedowns, and smother him on the mat. he's not going like Baeza is not going to expect Santiago to shoot for a takedown.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's gonna try and use his stand up work. He's known for his stand up, but he's got 6 submission wins, which is fantastic. With Baeza, he needs to keep his back to the cage to negate those takedowns and keep the fight standing. With both fighters having good grappling abilities in the clinch, I think the clinch is going to be the biggest aspect of this fight. And whoever can do more damage in the clinch and win the clinch, I think is going to be the winner if this goes to the judges. With that being said, I think it goes to the judges. I'm going with Miguel Baeza getting his 11th win in a row by decision. I think this goes to the judges.
Yep. I'll start things off with Ponzinibbio. Of course, he's from Argentina. He fights out La Plata, Argentina. He's 34 years old. He has 171. He's 171 pounds. He's 6 foot with a 73-inch reach, and he fights out American Top Team. Then you got Miguel Baeza, who is from the United States. He fights out of Florida. He's 28 years old, 171 pounds. He's 6'2" with a 74.5-inch reach, and he fights out MMA Masters Gym. This is a classic matchup where you got Ponzinibbio. He's the veteran. He's coming off a loss. He hasn't fought in almost 2 years. He's the guy that likes to fight along the cage. Yeah. That's probably his best trait is when he gets the guy up against the cage, he presses him up. He just hits him with the combinations. And he usually is one of the best at that. He uses a lot of feints, a lot of jabs, and he tries to keep his opponent moving backwards because the best time to get an opponent is when they're moving back. He moves pretty well, but he has range issues. So like you said, he tries to keep things close in the clinch because that's the best way he works. He hasn't been the same that he was before, but he still packs a lot of power. One thing, though, with him that's going to be to watch is whenever he gets hit and he falls down, which has happened several times of lately, more than likely he's going to lose. He gets knocked down. He doesn't come back up the same. He loses a little bit of energy with it because don't know why. Maybe it's just the chin, but he survives. But then he gets hit again, and then he just falls down. Yeah. And winds up losing.
I don't think I'd get up.
Me either.
These guys knocked me in the chin. I'm not getting up. I'm probably.
I'll just take the paycheck. Yeah.
But I'm done.
But then you got Miguel Baeza. He is probably one of the most underrated boxing prospects that we have in the UFC. Yeah. He's very quick. His movement is one of the best. He's a technical striker with great hands. One of his negatives is he tends to leave his lead hand low too often, and then he walks back to help with kicks and measurements. So, like, he keeps it low, and then he moves back to keep the range of his kicks, and then he puts himself in danger by doing that, where he should have his hands up and blocking the whole time to make sure he doesn't take anything back. He loves to take the back after a takedown and then go for like a submission there. That's where he's most comfortable. And then, of course, he's 10-0. He hasn't lost anything. And then he throws a lot of leg kicks. But one thing he needs to start doing, which Ponzinibbio will get him with, is checking kicks.
Yeah.
Because Ponzinibbio would throw kicks as well, but he checks kicks. So if he doesn't start checking kicks, he's going to take damage back for that and likely inflict a lot of pain on himself by doing so. In this matchup, though, I feel like Baeza is going to be a lot for Ponzinibbio to handle. With the way that Ponzinibbio keeps himself low and goes for the clinch, I feel like it's going to work into Baeza's favor, where he's going to use his boxing and movement. And it's just going to be too fast for him. And then at some point, he's going to get knocked down. He'll get up. But then once he gets knocked down, it's over for him. Like I said, he gets knocked down once, he's basically lost the fight. It's just in the odds. Like I said, go to Oddsjam and check out the odds there. But with this matchup, I feel like Miguel Baeza is going to win by a second round knockout. I think the first round you might see Ponzinibbio going to the clinch a lot and trying to wear Baeza down. But with Baeza being the more fresher fighter, the younger fighter, and the faster hands, I feel like he's going to do a lot of movement around the cage, and then he's going to pick and choose his shots. And then when he hits him, he's going to do damage. And he's going to avoid the stuff that Ponzinibbio is going to want to do. He's going to dictate the fight, and he's going to wind up at some point catch Ponzinibbio with a nice shot that's going to put him sleeping. So I'm going to go second round TKO by Miguel Baeza.
Oh, I can't argue there, man. We're both going Caramel Thunder. Again, fantastic name. I wish that could be my nickname. I think we're even on. Like, I think we're.
I think so.
Right? Is this your fight tonight?
This is my fight of the night right here.
Same.
And like I picked this in all my other things going on. I was just on another podcast, and this is the fight that I picked, and that's what I'm sticking with. I just feel like Ponzinibbio has all that. He's 28-4, so he's fought a lot.
Yeah.
But then Baeza is the young and upcomer. He's 10-0. He's looking to go 11-0. He's looking to make a name for himself.
And they're both super exciting.
Mm-hmm.
Even though Ponzinibbio hasn't fought in 2 years, he's an exciting fighter to watch.
Exactly. And but don't hesitate on this fight.
No,
watch this fight, and then once you watch it, you know why I'm saying second round knockout. But moving on to the co-main event of the evening, here's the heavyweights that we're getting to now.
Yeah.
We got a heavyweight matchup between Walt Harris, who's 13-9, is the plus 145 underdog, going up against Marvin Tybura, who is 21-6 and is the minus 170 favorite. How you see this fight?
Yeah, man, this is it's every fight card. There's a tale of two different records, right? One going in one way, one going the other, and here we are. Walt Harris has lost 2 in a row. Obviously, he had out of the cage issues with everything with his stepdaughter. So I really don't blame him for those losses, more because mentally I don't think he was there. Whereas Marcin Tybura has been on a tear. I remember when I thought he was going to be close to getting cut, and now he's 4 in a row. Greg Hardy, Ben Rothwell, Maxime Grishin, Sergey Spivak. So he's out there just proving himself in this heavyweight division, trying to get from the bottom of the top 10 to the top. I'm curious to see where this one goes. If I'm Walt Harris, I want to be the aggressor. In my mind and in my opinion, Walt has seemed gun shy in his last few fights, and I think that's because mentally, again, he wasn't there. How could you be there after that gruesome act that happened to his family?
Yeah.
If he throws like he did, let's say in the Alexei Olenek fight, where he's using like jumping knees and flying knees and spinning elbows, and when he throws like he was on the winning streak, more openings will develop. He can't just sit there and try and box. He needs to find a home for that lead uppercut. He has a very good uppercut, very underrated. It's partly why he has 13 knockouts. He's not going to take you to the ground. He's not going to let this go to the decisions if he has his way. And then he needs to mix in body shots and leg kicks to drop the hands for that uppercut. He doesn't really tailor his fight towards like pounding the kidneys and the liver. It's more of just head hunting. And then you look at Marcin Tybura, who is the definition of consistent. 7 KO wins, 7 submission wins, 7 decision wins. So this man is well-rounded. He should work the outside. Don't stand there and bang with Harris. Harris is a knockout artist. You're not going to win a boxing match with him. Tybura should work on the body and legs more like he does in most of his fight, as he doesn't work on the head as much. He is a body, leg, throwing those leg kicks, shoot for takedowns. I don't think Walt's going to expect, like most heavyweights, aren't going to expect you to take him down. When was the last time we've had a true wrestling match besides a Curtis Blades fight in the heavyweight division? Mm-hmm. DC, maybe. So 2-3 years ago. So if Marcin shoots for more takedowns, he might catch Walt off guard. He's a BJJ black belt, which is fantastic, and a multiple-time BJJ medalist. That's Marcin Tybura. So I'm going to actually go with the favorite on this. I don't even think I picked an underdog this entire time. I'm going with Marcin Tybura. I think he's going to get the win by decision, although I would like Walt Harris to win and get back to his winning ways because he's an exciting fighter. But I'm going to go with Tybura.
Yep. Yeah. First, we got Walt Harris. He fights out of Homewood, Alabama. He's 37 years old, 254 pounds. He's 6'5" with an 81-inch reach, which is something to note there. He fights out of American Top Team. Then you got Marcin Tybura, who is fighting out of Poland. He's 35 years old, 255 pounds. He's 6'3" with a 78-inch reach, and he fights out of S4 Fight Club and United Gym. This is a classic example where you got a Marcin Tybura who has very good cardio, but suspect chin against Walt Harris, who has bad cardio, and then he has a good chin, and he's a knockout artist, but he doesn't use what he has the right way. What he should be doing is he has a great wrestling background, and he tends to use it, but at the wrong times. A thing that I always say with him is he always rushes out right away and then goes for the knockout. He goes just batshit crazy, and he tires himself out when he should be using the wrestling right away and then going with the striking. His striking is very underrated. It's just that he puts all of his eggs in a basket right away instead of taking his time and picking and piecing his opponent apart. Whereas Marcin Tybura has really good inside striking game to go with his cardio. He has good movement. He moves around. Like you said, he should be moving around, keeping Harris moving. And then I think the key to this matchup is one move that Tybura makes that he's going to probably make early on to dictate the fight. And it's when Walt Harris goes for like an overhand right, because he's going to try and he has a lot of knockouts. So he always goes with the overhand right. He likes to duck his head and then sweep for a takedown his opponent.
Yeah.
And I feel like he's going to do that early and often against Walt Harris. And when Walt Harris gets taken down, he's down. He has no takedown defense. He's a fish out of water in those type of matchups. He doesn't know what to do in those situations, and he tends to just lose there and just lays there where he gets submitted. If you want to hit, like, not joking with this, if you want to go to Oddsjam and get a good bet, and I'm serious here, 3rd round submission win by Tybura. That's a perfect spot to go with Tybura there, because he's going to get the takedown, and in the 3rd round, you're going to have Walt Harris, who's going to be tired because he's going to put a lot in the 1st round. He's going to test Tybura early, but he's not going to get the knockout. I feel Tybura's going to be able to avoid it. His chin has been doing a lot better lately in fights, and he's been the game plan better. So I feel like he's going to get a lot of takedowns. He's going to do a lot of ground and pound. Harris is going to just hang in there. And then in the 3rd round, he's going to take him down and then get that third round submission victory.
Damn, man. Does Walt Harris owe you money? That was the most critical I've ever seen you breaking down a fighter.
He gets all this love right now, which he started out great in his career, and then he's just fallen off. He's fallen off, and it's not like he's fought like the best of guys. It's just that he doesn't try and get better. Like, we've seen guys like Derek Lewis, who we've been critical of late, and he's hired a nutritionist. He's added a little bit of kicking here, knees there, and then he's gotten his cardio better. He's changed things up in his camp. This guy has stayed at the same.
So he's been at American Top Team the whole time? I don't remember him being the ATT guy. I think this might be a switch for him.
I think it might have been a switch.
So, who knows? We might see a leaner, more disciplined Walt Harris. You are an analyst. Yeah. That was a great breakdown on a fighter. I was just, as your friend, I was not ready for that. So you took me by surprise. But watch Walt Harris come out here and just like get a heel hook. You know what I mean? Like 1st round heel hook.
Watch he just walk up there and boom, knock him out, and then just walk back out.
Yeah, I'm never gonna come on Cage My IQ. That'd be great.
Yep. But that's my take on Walt Harris.
Yeah, it is.
If he wins, you're never going to see me again.
Right.
Yeah. But after that, let's move on to the main event of the evening. One of the most anticipated matchups of the card, of course. You got a heavyweight matchup between Jairzinho Rozenstruik, who's 11-2, as the bias 120 favorite, going up against Augusto Sakai, who's 15-2-1, as the plus 100 underdog. How do you feel with this matchup?
This is going to be a good one. This is a great one. And I think this, obviously, we talk about ranked fighters, and I usually say, like, this big fight is going to be a title shot. That's going to get you a next title shot. I don't think the winner of this gets a title shot. If I'm being honest, I think the winner of this gets Curtis Blades. He's the only one in the top 5 who's not booked right now. So let's say Rozenstruik or Sakai comes out of this early. That's the fight to make, in my opinion. But when we break down the fight a little bit, you have 2 knockout artists, 21 knockouts between the 2 of them, both coming off of a loss. Rozenstruik lost to Cyril Gane, and Sakai lost to Alistair Overeem. So my keys for Jairzinho is to use leg kicks. He's been implementing those leg kicks more recently to keep Sakai at bay. Use combinations instead of just throwing that left hook, which we've seen. I kind of expect this fight to kind of play out like the Overeem Rozenstruik fight. Not in the sense that it's gonna be a last minute knockout, but I think it's gonna be a grueling one. Push the pace, get his back to the cage, and then go to work. I always think that Rozenstruik is a small fighter. For some reason, he looks small in the cage. He's 6'4". That's not a small man, and he's going up against. He's the taller fighter going into this. If I'm Augusto, he's going to have to mix it up. Jairzinho is going to use those leg kicks, and he's going to head on. We know that. So he needs to work the body. Pepper in some liver shots, pepper in that leg kick, pepper in that body shot with your lead leg, and then keep the fight in the middle of the cage. If Rozenstruik gets Sakai to the cage, it's going to play exactly how it happened with Overeem. He's going to knock him out. He's going to clip him on the chin. It's going to be game over. With that being said, Dan, I'm not going to be mad at any of these fighters if they win, and I'm not going to treat them like you treated Walt Harris. But I'm going to go to Oddsjam, and I'm going to put money down on the favorite, Jairzinho Rozenstruik by knockout, second round.
Nice. First, we got Rozenstruik, who fights Ponzinibbio Surinabe. He's 33 years old, 254 pounds. He's 6'4", with a 78-inch reach, and he fights out of Team Biggie Boy gym. Then you got Augusto Sakai, who fights out of Corribe, Parana, Brazil. He's 30 years old, 261 pounds. He is 6'3", with a 77-inch reach, and he fights out Gael Ribeiro Team Gym, and then the Gucci Team Gym for striking. This matchup in itself, you got Augusto Sakai, who has a Muay Thai background. He relies on pressuring forward against the opponent, and then just laying off with the combinations here and there. He throws combinations, he pushes them back, and he likes to go close the distance, and then he goes in and out of range. He tries to put on a little bit of volume early on to overwhelm you, and he throws this low calf kick that he likes to use to keep the distance. Whereas Rozenstruik, he's the classic counter fighter. Like you think of Lyoto Machida and whatnot, where they wait for you to attack, and then they throw a counter to combat it. They're thinking try to think 2 steps ahead. With this, with the Rozenstruik, because he does it so much, you think of him as a passive fighter. He's afraid. He was afraid in the Francis Ngannou fight, and he got pushed back, and he got knocked out. And then in the Gane fight, him and Gane were so passive. Gane won because he was just doing a lot of what you would expect from Sakai. He moves in and out, in and out, in and out. But I feel like there's going to be two glaring weaknesses in this fight that's going to lean towards one way. Whenever Sakai throws that lead kick, he has a tendency of that kick getting caught and Rozenstruik is really good at catching leg kicks, and then he can throw him down or throw a punch back at him. And then he throws this. He also extends his right hand with his striking. And I feel like what Rozenstruik's going to do is he's going to move his head back like he does, which is usually like a detriment to him. He's going to move back, and then he's going to throw his right hand, and he's going to catch him and knock him out in the first round. I feel like Rozenstruik has more to lose than Sakai here, because Rozenstruik only has 2 losses, but he needs this victory to stay within that top 5 range, because if he loses here, he's going to get pushed back to the top, bottom of the top 10, and it's going to be even harder for him to get back to that top 5 spot. Whereas Sakai, he's already in the bottom. He's fighting to get back up. So if he loses, he probably goes to 10 or 11. So it's not a big change for him because he's at like 8 or 9 now.
Yeah, I think he's at 7.
Yeah.
Whereas this is a 6-7 matchup.
Yeah,
right now.
Whereas he wins, he gets put in that top 5. So he has a lot to gain, and not much to like fear about. Whereas I think Rozenstruik's the opposite. He has little to gain because there's all those guys in front of him, but he has a lot to lose.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go with the first round knockout by Rozenstruik.
Yeah, I mean, listen, we're on the same page, man. I think we went 6 for 6. This is a fight. This is a fight card, honestly, that I think I could get every fight wrong. I'm telling you, I'm not confident in any of my picks, but I went with my gut on a lot of them. But to your point about the rankings with this, you do have the 6 and the 7 guy, right? So if Rozenstruik loses, and he's already been there, right? So he's fought that his only 2 losses are to the champion and I think number 3, right? So he's going to want to avenge those losses. Then you have Augusto who's trying to get there. If he wins, I think he just jumps spots. He takes number 6. But if Rozenstruik loses and Tybura wins, they're going to flip spots. You're going to go from 6 to 9 and 9 to 7. So you're right. Rozenstruik has so much more to lose from this than Sakai does. Sakai's just going to kind of stay where he's at. Where Rozenstruik, if he wins, he's going to stay where he's at as well, because nobody ahead of him is fighting on this card. So there's no rankings to kind of jump up. But do you think the winner of this should get Curtis Blaydes, or is that too much of a jump?
I think yes. I think they should, because you're going to have a lot of movement going on. Yeah, we're still waiting. It looks like maybe we're going to get Derek Lewis go up against the champ, Francis Ngannou again. We don't know what to expect from Stipe when he's come back, or if he's come back. We don't know yet. Yeah, Gon's fighting Volkov, so you got them two. So the only guy left in that area is Curtis Blaydes.
Yeah, who hasn't fought in a while.
He hasn't fought since getting knocked out by Derek Lewis. Yeah. So he's going to have a lot to prove to wash out that bad knockout that he had. So he's going to probably want to get going as soon as possible. And what better way than to face the winner of this?
Yeah, both of which are knockout artists.
Yeah.
So, he's going to get PTSD from Derek Lewis fight going up against these guys. If Ponzinibbio wasn't on this fight, this was going to be my fight in the night. But I expect this one just to be short. This isn't going 5 rounds. I cannot see this one going to the judges.
Yep. Me either. I just feel like Rozenstruik, this is tailor-made for him to get the first round knockout. And if somehow he doesn't get it, then I feel like there's a chance for Sakai to get the unanimous decision, because I feel like he has gone the distance in his fights. Yeah, Rozenstruik has, but Sakai has more of the striking advantage. So I feel like he can get the strike in and avoid anything. He just has Sakai just has to watch out for that knockout shot, because anytime, just like in the Overeem fight, Overeem was dominating, and then he made one mistake with 30 seconds left, and it cost him the fight.
Yeah, I think when you're talking about Rozenstruik, anybody talking about him, the fight that you're going to talk about is that Overeem fight.
Yep. But other than that, I'm looking forward to UFC being back after a week off. Sucks that we didn't have them last week, but I was able to celebrate Memorial Day weekend. And then now we got this going. So you can watch this on Saturday night and then catch our recap show that's coming back on Monday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook. So check that out. Of course, you see below, we're affiliated with the Sports Box. Bring your questions and your comments to the page. Somebody will likely get back to you. You can follow Sports Box on Facebook at Sports Box Show, Twitter at Sports Box Show, Instagram at The Sports Box Show, and then you can subscribe to the YouTube channel. And then once again, as always, we are Cage My IQ, the best place for MMA content. You can follow us on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and Twitch. And don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel. We're at 104 subscribers right now, and we're trying to get to 200 now. So if you could help us out, just click subscribe on the page and follow all of our content, because we do previews and recaps for all four promotions: UFC, PFL, Bellator, and One Championship. Plus, we do interviews. I just released an interview with Brian Barberina today, so you can check that out on the page. And then just give us comments on our videos. Let us know what you think. Let us know what you want to hear. And then we're trying to help you guys out with those. But once again, I am your host, D-Bake. This is my co-host, Jim DeLulo. And we hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your weekend.
See ya.
Have a nice day.
Thank you for watching this episode of Cage My IQ on the Sports Box. Please remember to follow us on all of our social media outlets. On Facebook at Sportsbox Show, Twitter at Sportsbox Show, Instagram at The Sportsbox Show. Find us on YouTube and join Outside the Box, our Facebook sports discussion group. The Sports Box is brought to you by our sponsor, Showcase Sports in Hamilton. Showcase Sports for the elite athlete. And also our friends over at CrowdPlay. Download the free CrowdPlay app today and use promo code THEBOX at sign up for 10 free points. Thank you for joining us.